Alright guys, today we're going to be making Maui's fish hook. Kind of inspired to do this from the recent movie Moana, and I'm making this one for my little girl. Me and her went and seen the movie and we really liked it. So what I've done here, I've got some craft paper that has some grit on it, which is really handy, and I'm just kind of designing the layout of the fish hook. I'm going to make it out of foam, so it'll be really light and it'll be easy for her to hold. But I first outlined everything with pencil, then went back with Sharpie here to get the dark line that I actually wanted to cut out. And then I cut the entire template out here. And as you can see, it's going to be a pretty big fish hook. Next, I laid that out on a piece of foam. It's probably about 2-inch thick foam insulation. It's a real dense Styrofoam is what it is. And then I cut all that out on the bandsaw. Of course, it still has square edges and everything whenever I have it cut out, but we'll fix that here in just a moment. Here I'm putting a center line down the entire edge of the piece. That will kind of give me a guide for when I'm cutting the edges down, not to go past that center line. So I rough cut everything here with a sharp blade. I have to keep sharpening this blade to make sure that it is sharp enough and it doesn't get any bad edges on the foam. But I did that with both sides. And then I took the belt sander with some 80 grit sandpaper and tried to smooth off some of those corners and some of the edges there as well. There's a lot of places here I can't get with the belt sander, so I end up going back with a scrap piece of 80 grit sandpaper and just knocking off more of those corners by hand here. When you use the 80 grit, it's still kind of rough after you're done. So after I got the 80 grit, to smooth all those edges down, I ended up using 400 grit sandpaper right here, and it ended up being real smooth whenever I got done. Just like that right there. Actually turned out real nice. Next, I start designing all the little designs that are laid out on the fish hook. I didn't do this exact, but I tried to get as close as I could, so I used my phone with a picture of the fish hook just to kind of give me an example of about what it looks like. And I did that on both sides. I tried using a rotary tool here to cut those out. It didn't work as well as I had hoped, so I ended up changing and using a wood burner. With the wood burner, it went really quick, but just keep in mind you need to wear a mask if you're doing this. You don't want to breathe in any of the fumes or anything from this. And of course I did that with both sides. And next, I used some wood glue to try and seal the entire thing up. Just put the wood glue on and paint it on just like you would paint. This takes a while to dry. Basically, I had to do this in 2 steps. One side one day and the other side the next day. But after the entire thing was coated, then it kind of looked like this right here. Of course, the wood glue dries almost a yellowish tinge to it. Next, I used some white and some tan paint and kind of mixed it together here. this is what we're going to paint the entire thing with. Almost like a bone color whenever you're using it here. And I hung it up to dry. I didn't have any more of the white paint with me, so I used a different color just for the handle. But that's not a big deal because it's going to be covered up with some twine later anyway. But I wanted to get some more paint on it. Then I clear coated the entire thing with some spray polyurethane. Next, we're doing a dark brown here mixed with some water after the polyurethane was dry. And I mixed that water and the paint up together. And we're doing a wash on the entire piece. You just paint it all on. This way it gets down inside the cracks and everything. All the little detail work that we've done on it and everything. And then once you get it all on there, then you can start wiping it all off with a paper towel. It still leaves the dark inside the cracks and all the little crevices there. Just gives it a little more detail work. And it actually ended up giving a little texture to the whole piece as well. It's kind of the final product after doing all that. And then I put another coat of spray polyurethane on it. Next, we get to work on the handle, and this is going to be the final part of this build. I just started hot gluing some twine we had left over from one of my other builds, and just wrapped the handle in different directions here. Started at the top, and I put the bottom cross piece across the bottom there. Just like the design of the fish hook we have. And then started wrapping from the bottom to cover up those edges right there. It ended up being a really good build, probably one of my favorite builds that I've done. It looks pretty realistic when you're even holding it. And it's light enough to where my little girl, she can hold it very easily with one hand, and that way she can play with it. We've got it hanging on our wall, but that's pretty well the build there, guys. I hope you like this one, and please subscribe to my channel if you do like it, and we'll get some more videos out. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thank you.